Hey lovelies, this is Janelle, the relationship coach behind The Successful Invisible. And I'm here with another episode of Ish I Saw on TikTok. And today we're talking about men and leadership. Let's get something straight right out of the gate. A man who can't lead will always feel threatened by a strong woman. Not because she's too much, not because she's difficult, but because her clarity exposes his lack of direction. Leadership isn't about volume, control, money, or demanding submission. Real leadership shows up in consistency, emotional maturity, accountability, and vision. And when those things are missing, what you get instead is frustration, power struggles, and men asking for obedience they haven't earned. Today, we're unpacking why so many men claim leadership but crumble the moment a woman refuses to shrink herself to make them feel bigger.
The issue is a man who can't lead will always be frustrated by a strong woman. A man who can't lead will always be aggravated by someone who doesn't just kowtow to him just because he is a man. Every single one of those situations, a man exposes himself as not a leader. Why is she not submitting to me? What is she submitting to? Let's start asking questions. Are you leading? Where are you leading? What are you leading? What is your mission statement for yourself? Not that you have to have one, but where do you see yourself going at? What is your mission statement as a husband? What is your job as a husband? Well, I'm supposed to be
The leader, the head.
No, so many want to be Christ, like Christ is to the church, but really what they want to be is God. And so what they want to do is develop hells when they really should be sacrificing themselves for their wives until she is healed. But the man does all the work. No, the man does all the work first. That's what leaders do. Leaders take the most arrows in the back. Leaders trailblaze. Leaders go first. And so if you want something out of your woman, you show her, you exemplify that. You let her follow you. When she doesn't follow, that's when you have a problem. And you say, well, if you want to go right, I'm going to go this way.
Something that men need to realize is that they are not leaders. That is a lie and a story that has been told to men, that they have to be leaders, that they are leaders, that there was a time where they were leaders. I think if that was true, leadership would be a lot easier for men. But it seems to be very difficult. And the way that men obtain leadership seems to be very violent and aggressive, very controlling, abusive, one-sided. They seem to exercise leverage a lot when it comes to leadership, lacking the ability to understand. Men who think that they are in leadership positions, they do not show any signs of emotional intelligence. So they lack the ability to empathize with people. They are not compassionate with you. They are not accepting of you. With that being said, there was a time that men felt like they were leaders when women couldn't work and women couldn't do anything for themselves because the men had to take care of everything in the house. They had to go out and get a job and work and do X, Y, Z. But see, a lot of men look at that as leadership. When you really open up your eyes to it, you see that that's oppression to women. Women damn near couldn't even breathe or blink without a man telling them or without the government telling them that they could or couldn't. Men continuously go back into those points of time to reference why men have always been leaders. Or they'll try to go with times of Socrates and shit like that. But even those niggas were trash. A lot of those niggas, womanizers, misogynists, something was genuinely wrong with them. You have about 15 to 20 skills of effective communication, and I'm going to list them off for you. Number 1, communication. Number 2, integrity. Number 3, decision making. And number 4, delegation. Number 5, self-awareness. And number 6, conflict resolution. Number 7, creativity. Number 8, motivation. Number 9 is accountability. Number 10, mentorship. Number 11 is problem solving. Number 12, active listening. Number 13, adaptability. Number 14, innovation. 15 and 16, resilience and respect. 17 and 18, critical thinking, positivity. Then you have things like empathy, empowerment, flexibility, and responsibility. A lot of those skills require a high emotional intelligence. If a lot of men can't even read and comprehend words, identify context, I know that they can't sit here and see the emotional state of other people and how to operate emotionally in an appropriate manner with other people. They can't identify their own emotions. They can't regulate their own emotion. They cannot express to you their own emotion. They do not have the brain capacity to look at something complex and reason with it. So men being leaders is really a lie. It's a fallacy, because men will argue you that they are good leaders and supposed to be leaders because they are logical thinkers. They are physically stronger than you. And because force is the reason why they are able to put themselves in leadership positions and maintain them. What a lot of men don't realize is logic requires emotion. You have to combine the emotional with the critical thinking part, with the analytical part. You have to combine both of those things. And men just suck at doing that.
You know, I got a rude awakening for the guys that think that all you need is money is to lead a relationship. Women are smarter than you think. Go find a woman and tell her how much you got and see how quick she play your ass because you're leading with your money. That's all you got. That's all you stand for. I remember I was walking with my mentor and he asked me, "Who are you?" And I was confuzzled. Don't know what confuzzled means. I was confused and fuzzled. It didn't have anything to do with who my name was. Didn't have anything to do with my ethnicity. I'm a little drunk, so I'm probably speaking in slurs right now. It had nothing to do with where I came or where I live. But when he asked me, "Who are you?" and he had to explain to me what that actually meant, some of y'all motherfuckers got it fucked up. It don't just take money to leave. It takes morals, values, principles, understanding who you are as a person, understanding that you have a divine connection to the Most High above. I'm pretty sure y'all see all these rich motherfuckers also getting played left or right because they women cheating on them also because they're only leading with their money. They don't have anything else about them that they stand on or that they stand for. I made that Trina post about her husband giving Trina all the money and her helping him or leading him in the right direction. And I saw a lot of guys in my comments talking about some, well, he not a man. Like, I would never do that. Like, you trying to teach the younger generation something. No, I'm not trying to teach them shit. Y'all got the game fucked up. Stop teaching our younger youth that all it takes is money to, however y'all, I think y'all just want to control women. Y'all shouldn't want to control nobody because at the end of the day, that's somebody's daughter and you're somebody's son. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want nobody controlling you and telling you what the fuck to do also. But we need to teach our young men who you are as a person defines and dictates how people react and perceive you. Like I said, it goes back to principles, morals, and values. Now, trust me, I encourage men, our young men and our older men, to have your finances in order before you enter a relationship. But I also encourage men to also realize that it takes more than money to maintain a relationship. And I'm going to really need y'all motherfuckers to think about this. How can she follow you when all you leading with is your money? And how can she follow you if you don't even know who the fuck you are? Now go do some research on that.
You can't lead her if you can't even handle her emotions. Let's talk about it. Fellas, being a provider ain't enough. You got to lead her emotionally too, or you'll lose her mentally way before you lose her physically. True facts. If every time she open up, you get defensive, that ain't protecting her. That's punishing her. That ain't leadership. That is emotional immaturity. A woman will not stay where she don't feel emotionally safe. Emotional intelligence ain't weak. It's about knowing how to hold space when she in hers without trying to fix her, silence her, or make it about you. Just listen. If her emotions scare you, you ain't solid, you unstable. And ain't no woman gonna rest where she gotta brace herself just to speak. Meet me in the comments. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
A lot of dudes be wanting to lead, but you hadn't even proven to be dependable. Like if the car break down, you're gonna be able to take care of it. Like, if something go wrong in the house, is you gonna be able to take care of it? Y'all outside and something jump off of you, is you gonna be able to take care of it? At the end of the day, like, it's our job to take care of that woman. So for her to trust your leadership 100%, you gotta prove you're capable of doing those things. In fact, is a lot of men are not capable of doing all those things. You don't do a well enough job of taking care of yourself. Like, how is she supposed to expect you to take care of her? Like, you don't manage your own finances well. Like, you still owe in the street right now. But she's supposed to entrust her finances and her livelihood with you. Leadership has never just been something that's handed to you. Like, you gotta prove that you're capable of doing it. You gotta make the people that's following you believe that you're gonna be able to take care of them regardless of the situation.
Mother wounded men are unable to lead.
A man who has a mother wound will not be able to emotionally satisfy his woman because he doesn't even see her for who she is. He sees her as he saw his mother. As a young boy growing up with a strict or emotionally absent father, the model of relating with a woman that he learned was to receive her care physically and transact with her on a survival level through money, but not pour into her emotionally. What he saw his mother do, he now expects from his woman, and when his woman expresses herself emotionally, he shuts down. He thinks she's being ungrateful or criticizing him, but what he's actually feeling is the pain and rage of his wounded inner child. The young boy that he once was could sense that his mother was feeling unhappy, unloved, and he now carries the shame and guilt of not being able to save her. If he wants to make his woman feel safe and seen, all he has to do is heal the boy within so that he no longer feels like a failure.
Ladies, a man that's uncomfortable with confronting his own emotions, his own darkness, cannot lead you. He cannot lead you. This would be the man that'll try to lead you with words. He's going to try to force you to follow his footsteps, but he can't lead you because his words won't lure you to him. That's why. When the man find his own heart, because men logical, we stay up here with it, and when this come, fuck that, we don't want to deal with it. But women gotta deal with the darkness. Men got a choice. We jump to the light and live looking forward in life, ignoring the negativity, right? Women might not have the ability to look forward. They stuck processing the negativity. Women gotta process it because they're here to get to know life from the darkness perspective. They gotta get to know what life feel like. We gotta know what it means. But we both gotta pour over to the other side eventually. That's why the yin yang symbol has a feature from each side, right? Men are bigger light, lesser darkness. If we do not learn our darkness, y'all, we will be uncomfortable around y'all's. We can ignore the world's, but when we choose to have a woman or a wife in the same house, of course, that's where that mirroring comes from, right? Because everything I ignore here, I gotta face it in you. And that's the thing with a man, because a woman is a man's karma. If you're the lead, trust me, I just want to say this. Women don't follow instructions after sex. Before sex, they'll follow instructions. After sex, women don't follow instructions. They follow examples. And this is why it's important to learn how to lead your own heart. Before a marriage, a man got to be married within himself. You got to be intelligent about your own self and love yourself. That's what marriage is. You got to know this and love it. So man don't know his heart, he love himself up here, but he don't love himself through all of this, all that weight that's carrying down here. He keep letting it store, man, fuck that. Man, fuck that. Heart piling up, right? Filling up to the top. He lacks emotional intelligence. You know? He lacks emotional intelligence. A man that responds too fast, he lacks emotional intelligence. A woman's response like this, emotions. Emotions only require one detail to respond to. Men, we got our emotions too. That's just let us know something going on. Boop, the emotions, and then we observe. Because we need more details before we respond. That's being a logical person. We criticize ourselves when we make mistakes, and we start adding extra steps to our process. I need to slow down my understanding process. I need to slow down my observation process. I need to slow down my, execution process mentally, so that we can master our decisions, right? But ladies, I'm just telling y'all, when he leading and he sees something that's wrong, he gonna ignore it if he don't know his heart. If he know his heart, he gonna just know it and be like, all right, yeah, I can feel it. I'm gonna switch this up. And you'll be protected by him protecting his own heart. And if you don't see it with a heart, if you speak it, he'll listen from the heart, not from the brain. He ain't gonna listen to criticize your emotions. So, yeah, men gotta learn the darkness though. We gotta learn that darkness. I've dived in, darkness of the soul, survivor, but I've learned my emotions, and with this knowledge, I look back and it's like, I could have made any relationship work. I look at my baby mama, I'm a coward, bro. I left my baby mama. Now that I left, of course I didn't want to be with her, but being this prophetic now, knowing how to move now, I'm the lead. It's all on me. All I had to do was move correctly. And if a woman fuck with you, she gonna follow. If she love how you handle your heart, how you pursuing your life for your happiness, how you handle situations when people disrespect you, she gonna idolize you. If she can't get through to you and you handling everything like a man, she gonna idolize you and start mirroring you. Because you the example of how to handle a heart, healthily. How can I want to word that better? She gonna follow your lead if your heart is safe with you. If that makes sense. She's gonna be comfortable following your lead if she can sense that your heart is safe with you. But women, it's gonna be a reality check, because a man, it ain't really in a man will put his heart in your hand if you don't know his heart, but it ain't really divine nature for a man to put his heart in your hand. You pertain to the heart. What you feel, you're sent to heal. What a man what a man sees broken, he's there to fix. That's our nature. We don't got the feelings y'all got. We don't tap in as deep in darkness as y'all do. If y'all feel something, what the fuck? Y'all can't get it as, am I the only one that see this shit? I'm the only one that care. No, it's your nature to feel that. Your sight comes straight from darkness to light. You here to understand all the discomforts. Because you notice the discomforts within you. I'm not uncomfortable with that. I'm not that uncomfortable with the world. So my sixth sense might not ring for every miscomfort or discomfort, right? If a woman feel it, the woman gotta heal it. Now, when a man see a problem, it ain't his job to get his woman to understand why it's a problem. It ain't his job to force her to have the logical perspective just so he can validate his reasoning. No. A man gonna fix what he sees broken. Even if you don't notice it's broken. Even if you think it ain't a big idea, let him fix it, right? Let her nurture, let him fix. Don't require either to do shit, though. Because you don't own nobody. Men, learn your heart. That way the woman that's with you, she can see your emotional maturity. And she can trust your emotional guidance. Because the brain is here to learn the heart. It's not here to learn the brain. If a man's spending all his life here just learning the fucking brain, he's not intelligent. The brain ain't intelligent for learning the brain. The brain is intelligent for learning the heart, because the heart is not the brain. But that's all I want to say, y'all. Get you a man, make him wait, so you can start gauging how his emotional intelligence is. It's right in front of you. As soon as he leaves losing patience, check them tolerances, check his lust. A man that's wise with his heart open, you're not gonna be lusty. Because when your heart open, we got to learn everything about the heart. That's one thing women don't have. Women got to feel everything about the heart. Men got to learn everything. Y'all got to know what it feel like. We got to know what it mean. I'm telling you, we logical, y'all emotional for a reason. By nature, that's how we start. Some can tip the polarity scale. Something can happen to someone that'll awaken their feminine, a man, right? Something can happen to a man that'll awaken his feminine polarity too soon before he understand where he stands naturally. But this is just how life happens. If that happens, it still could happen, and there's still some truth in it. You don't judge people, right? Something happened to them that didn't happen to you. You just don't judge people. But ladies, keep this in mind. That boy got to know his heart so he could be a man. We got to be a man about our own heart. We can't be a man about no woman if we ain't a man about our own feminine polarity, bro. How we only completed this mission 2%, and we think we can get a woman 100% when she's more this than we are, bro. You know? When it comes to emotional stuff. Now, finances, but you still got to listen to that. You got to listen to that voice, because pursuing finances could cause difficulties and discomforts for the heart. But that's all I want to say, y'all. I love y'all. God bless. If you got anything to add, feel free. Add to it. All right. God bless. Bye-bye. I'm out of here.
Talk about how certain men think they can lead other women when their life is not together, when they have nothing.
Yo.
Have y'all ran across them type of men?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you have nothing to say about leading or doing this and that if you can't even take care of yourself. You've been proven you cannot take care of yourself.
How do you take...
Hey, listen to me. I don't know who need to hear this shit, but I'm going to go on and say it anyway. A man with no sense of urgency and no directions for his own life, listen, you always, and I mean always, are going to be frustrated when it comes to you dealing with a strong woman. Because unlike you, she knows what she wants and she knows where the fuck she going. So if how you moving don't make sense for where she going and what she doing, then she's not even gonna look your motherfucking way. And that's that on that. I said what I said, for sure, free game.
One of the major reasons why a lot of men are failing in their relationships today is because we have a lot of men that reject leadership in their relationships. They reject to lead. Let me clarify it. Fellas, if you have a woman that's always having to ask you, hey, what is our title? What are we? What are we doing? And you're telling her some nonsense like, hey, you know I love you. You know I care about you. You mean the world to me. But let's just take our time. Let's just see where this takes us. Trash. No, sir. That's equivalent to telling a woman to get in the car with you, put all her eggs in one basket. You don't have a map. You don't have GPS. You don't know where you're going. No destination in mind. And you want her to ride along with you, and there's no end game to the destination. And we have a lot of men that want women to submit to an ungodly situation. Bible says, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22, wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. And you want her to submit to an ungodly situation, to an ungodly man. A godly man marries. A godly man commits. A godly man is decisive. He knows how to make a decision. And fellas, if you are feeling some type of way about what I just said, you are a part of the problem. Because would you be okay with your daughter, your sister, or niece submitting to a man, performing wifely duties, and there's no guarantee?
If I'm out, don't ask me where I'm at. Don't ask me who I'm with. Don't ask me what I'm doing. Are you the leader in this relationship? No, I'm the leader in this relationship. Wherever I'm at, who I'm with, or what I'm doing is for me to
Even
know.
if you're in a relationship?
Yes.
What if they do it to you?
I am your leader. I need to know.
I think a lot of men don't want to lead their woman. They want to rule over their woman, dictator style. And I don't know this gentleman's relationship status, but I've been married for 20 years. And let me tell you what, you can lead a woman without ruling over a woman, but it requires you to be accountable with her, to value what she says, to honor her, to protect her, to care about her. And let's take it out of relationships, right? Because even in other arenas in life, good leaders are accountable to the people they lead. You're a Navy SEAL Team 6, you're the point. You still got to tell the rest of the team the plan. You lay out the plan. You don't just say, hey, follow me, guys. You lay out the plan, you train, you prepare, you let them ask questions. A lot of times they come up with stuff you didn't even think of. If you're a football coach, you're the head coach. You're not the be all, end all, say all for everything. I mean, not the good ones. The good ones hire other good coaches and listen to wise counsel. Good government leaders listen to wise counsel. So why would you just get into your relationship and then dictate, rest, rule, and abide? And I don't know. I'm sure there's women that will let men lead them this way. I don't know any of them personally. Not my wife, not my sisters, not the women in my circle, I don't know any. Okay. And I would consider them beautiful, quality women that you would want to be with. But what do I know? I'm just throwing something out into the atmosphere. A lot of men want women to submit, and submit means to be under. The word sub, to be under, the mission. Anybody who gives their team a mission, you would want them to understand that mission so they could be underneath it. But if you just want to rule over a woman, then say that.
On me. So if that man is your protector and your provider, guess what? He is your law.
Let's jump into my favorite part of all of the content I post on YouTube. And that's just my thoughts, where I get to kind of express what I feel about whatever we have read or gone over. So let's get into it. All right, y'all know the drill. I am going to highlight 5 salient points from the videos that we just watched that are just my thoughts from my perspective, and to give you a few coaching questions that you can make sure you are using to assess any potential partners. So point number 1, true leadership is emotional safety, not control. Leadership means creating emotional safety, not asserting power. A man who gets irritated or defensive when a woman expresses emotions is signaling emotional immaturity, not leadership. Watch for emotional shutdown rather than engagement. Men who respond with calm down or mock feelings do not create the emotional safety that strong women need. In fact, that any woman would need. Some behavioral examples here are sometimes on social media, you'll see TikTok videos of men mocking women's emotions. She's just being dramatic, often get thousands of likes, but the underlying dynamic is avoidance, not protection, as well as cruelty. Some examples from like the celebrity lens is like multiple public breakups where male celebrities, i.e. Kanye West on social media, reacted defensively instead of communicatively when their partners expressed hurt, especially when he was going through his divorce with Kim K, and just all of the nastiness that he was saying to her and about her, etc. Regardless of how he felt, that is the mother of his children, and the way he acted was atrocious. So some coaching questions that I want you to keep in mind here when you're dating a man and you're really trying to assess his leadership abilities is, does he listen without interrupting? This is a hard skill. I admit I struggle with it myself. Does he validate your emotions even if he disagrees? Meaning, is he an active listener? Does he know how to pull out the important parts of what the most important parts of what you're saying, and understand nuance and the ability to respectfully disagree? These are all important components that make any person a successful leader. So point number 2, leaders take accountability, not blame. That right there kind of wipes out any man who is aligned or associated with red pill ideology, that right wing pipeline. Only thing those men do ad nauseum is blame women for every discomfort and failure in their lives. And most of these men who are doing this are white men. They are literally who this system was built for so they could succeed, and they're not succeeding. and they're unhappy, but they won't look at the mirror and take any accountability for their own behavior. So leaders own their mistakes and they repair them. A man who blames you for his emotional reactions or problems is not practicing accountability. You'll see that a lot in abusive men. They'll blame a woman as to why he hit her, okay? Blaming external factors, timing women's behavior is avoidance, and it's also leaning into external locus of control. True leadership looks inward first. True exemplary leadership, okay? So some examples of this is we have a lot of online narratives where many men are in comment section blaming women's high standards or modern women for their relationship struggles without introspection or skill development or acknowledgement that they are not viable options for partners. Their money's not right, their hygiene's not right, their mindset's not right, their personality sucks, and so many other things. And it's just about blaming other women. You know, a celebrity case of this is when the public feuds where male stars blame partners for their behavior. When we had a lot of that, like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard era on the social media, that was a mess. Shows avoidance over leadership. Now, she ultimately was found guilty, but the way they were going back and forth and a lot of the things he blamed on her, it wasn't cool. So some coaching questions here that you want to keep in mind are: when a problem arises, does he say, "I'm sorry" first, or "you made me feel," right? Very important distinction. Does he propose solutions or just critique, or is he just a complainer? Some men do that. None of those are the type of men that are viable options for partners in terms of you can't trust that man to lead because he's incapable of it. He does not have the skills. Point number 3, leadership requires vision, not ego. Ego wants dominance. Leadership wants direction. A man with ego-driven insecurity gets annoyed by a strong woman because he feels challenged, not complimented. Men who depend on status, like money and title, to lead are inherently unstable. A leader inspires, a boss demands. On social media, we see video trends of men boasting about income. If I had the money, she'd stay. Ignore emotional and vision alignment as drivers of relationship longevity. A lot of high-profile couples where one partner leverages fame or wealth, not partnership skills, often show imbalance and conflict. You can look at any social media blog, like a celebrity blog or celebrity tea blog, and see a lot of high net worth individual breakups and documented foolishness in the tabloids. Some coaching questions to keep in mind here is: does he have a vision for your life together, not just his professional goals? And is he open to adapting his plans collaboratively? Does he know how to work as a team? Point number 4, emotional intelligence is the core of modern leadership. Modern leadership equals emotional intelligence plus logical reasoning plus actual ability to execute. If he reacts defensively to emotional conversations, he's leading with logic without empathy, which often can result in cruelty. Emotional regulation predicts relationship success better than financial status. Some examples of this are on social media. We've seen where men can't read emotions. There's a meme that was widely shared on TikTok, but the underlying truth is not lack of capacity, it's lack of practice and intention and desire. A lot of men don't want to try to really have that emotional connection with a woman and develop emotional intelligence so they can have those type of conversations. You know, in the headlines in the tabloids, you have famous breakups where men failed to engage emotionally but doubled down on logic or denial, i.e. Prince Harry's public conversations on therapy contrasted with certain male celebrity reactions that avoid vulnerability. And that's why Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is still together, okay? So some coaching questions around this that I want you to keep in mind and ask to yourself or even to your partner, but definitely to yourself about your partner, is: does he ask how you feel or only how he feels? When you cry, does he sit with you or pull away? Does he inquire? Does he show up? And even if he's silent and just there, how does he do that to support you in that vulnerable moment? Point number 5, Leadership is demonstrated through consistent action, not words. Leaders do the work first, okay? You lead from the front, not from the back. A man who says, I love you, I care about you, but never shows it through action isn't leading. He's managing optics. Consistency builds trust. Inconsistency breeds frustration. Think of it just like the gym. When you're consistent with your workout, of course, and your diet, you're going to get results. When you're inconsistent, you're going to be frustrated. Some examples in social media there was a viral actions versus words video where women recount partners who profess love but never show up. They never help with life tasks, emotional support, planning, child rearing, etc. And from like a celebrity lens, you have public relationships where one partner announces intentions but fails to follow through. Engagements called off due to lack of action after declaration illustrate the gap between rhetoric and reality. Some coaching questions to keep in mind here are, does he follow through on what he says? Do his actions align with his promises? That's big. That's a huge thing. Does he do what the F he say he gonna do? So here are some just quick red flags and green flags. Some red flags markers that a man is not an effective leader and you should not trust him to lead you anywhere are defensive communication, blaming rather than owning, relying on money/status instead of emotional presence, and inconsistency between words and actions. An inconsistent man is not serious about you. Leave him alone. Some green flags are he validates your emotions. He owns his mistakes and repairs them. He doesn't just say, yep, I'm sorry, I did that. He then takes the actions to correct what he has harmed or what he has broken. He builds a shared vision and then he puts action to it. And then he shows consistency and emotional regulation. So let me know your thoughts below about men who you've dated that have shown leadership qualities, and then the ones that you've come across that definitely have not. At the end of the day, leadership isn't something you announce. It's something people choose to follow. And if a man is constantly demanding submission instead of inspiring trust, clarity, and emotional safety, that's not leadership. That's insecurity in a costume. Strong women aren't the problem. A lack of vision, accountability, forward action, and emotional maturity is. If you're done shrinking, over-explaining, or trying to teach grown men how to lead themselves, it's time to move differently. If this conversation hit home and you're ready to date with discernment, clarity, and self-respect, join my exclusive coaching community on Coffee. That's where we go deeper, break patterns in real time, and give you the tools to assess behavior before you get emotionally invested. The link is in the description. Come sit at the table with women who are done settling and ready to move with intention.